We're here at our user location, 231 FM 1092, which is in Houston, or Stafford, Texas. I mean, if you watch us on the regular, which everyone that watches us is regular, you know our class times and days. If not, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to get notifications if YouTube wants to send it out. Right? They cap on the notifications. They only send notifications if you're a reputable channel. Right? If you're a non-Israelite channel. So check us out. We're on YouTube. We got our school in Virginia at 2610 Granby. Again, you can subscribe to their channel through our channel. We got our school in Rochester, 1600 Lyle Ave, Gloucester, New York, right? And again, you can subscribe to their channel through our Houston channel, okay? I'm gonna try to make this quick because I want to get through this class because it's a lot of info. We got Passover coming up. What's before Passover? Purim? So we got Purim coming up, which I'm thinking is in February. I gotta update this sheet. I know we got Purim coming up. We'll give the date to that. And then we're gonna have Passover coming up. As a reminder, you already know, it's always about money, right? Start getting your money together to be able to help out with the lamb, the location. If you gotta travel, if you're in different states, you gotta travel, it's gonna cost dough. So get your money together. Hopefully everybody's gotten their garment money in. All right, so remember, we got Passover coming up. That's in 3 months, right? It came, it went, and now it's coming again. It don't stop. And the time is just moving. It's about to be January 1st, their so-called New Year. So we got Passover on the 31st of this March. All right, so look out for that. Check out our different businesses. You can go to isbhbk.com and they give you all the different businesses. Sweet Ambiance, Chosen Creations, Israelware. Okay, you can check those different businesses out. If you want to help out in any way, any donations of any kind, monetary, we got the Wells Fargo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Venmo, the PayPal, the Chime, right? Any electronic, right? I'll take the check, walk it to the bank if you want me to, and deposit it. Whatever you want, we got it, right? So if you want to help out in that way, any books, pens, papers, school supplies, anything like that you want to help out with, feel free to contact us and we'll get you an address to send those things to. Please don't send anything to the schools, as we're not at the schools. Hear my voice. We're not at the schools during the day. Do me a favor. I want you to take this camera. I didn't center it, my bad. You're gonna move it this way. So, drop it right there. Let me see. You have to look at your, phone. Yeah, it's a little crooked now. I think the floor is crooked, that's the problem. It's tilted. Look at your phone. Right, well, while he adjusts that, right, anything you want to give towards the schools, we appreciate it. It's welcome, it's needed. We need the help. We need the help. We have been doing it and putting it on our backs for years, right? For years, the brothers that work in the zones, the malls, the businesses. So we just asking for a little bit of that help. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the announcements. I'm gonna apologize right now. My throat is a little messed up. This cold flu season. That's perfect. This cold flu season is hitting, so definitely fell victim. But we gonna get through this class, man. So Anybody in here take psychology in high school, college? Yeah, you took psychology? Okay, so you know about fraud? Freud?
Oh, yeah.
I call him fraud, right?
Yeah.
You know about Freud? So what was Freud known for? What was like the main thing that he brought out to the world? You remember?
What comes to my mind is his whole thing with like the child and the mother, that connection.
Okay.
That's what comes to my mind immediately.
Right.
About him.
Okay, so
Also the
what?
where the Kundalini is.
Oh yeah, I don't
Talk
remember.
about.
I don't remember that.
Uh,
I don't remember that part of psychology. Damn. Freud was on that?
He was on
On the
that.
Kundalini?
He was on that type. Of
Yeah, he must have been a Hindu.
oh, wow.
He must have been Kemet
Not the Kundalini, but the area.
of the Kundalini. So,
Right.
Okay, so he was into a different type of worship.
He was on that type of time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know, Esau, they always want to be, you know what I'm saying, in that area, in that region.
I always try to
That's their spot. It always, for some reason, like goes back to that.
Wow.
Well, one of the things that fraud was known for, one of the main things was his breakdown of the psyche, or his breakdown of how the personality, or how a person's personality is developed. So I'm talking about the ego. We've heard that word ego, super ego, and the id, right? And his theory or his thought was that a person's personality is developed from these three components, right? And they work either consciously or subconsciously in the brain, right? So, you know, it's a thought process or a teaching that if you don't really care about psychology, if you're not really into it, it makes it very complex. And one would ask, is that a biblical thought? Like, is the ego, and the superego, is it something that we can talk about biblically? So what do y'all think? Do you think that is something that we can talk about biblically? The y'all don't even know what it is, right? Anybody know what the id is?
Your identification?
Not ID,
Oh.
it's the id. The id.
Oh.
It's part of your identification. It's a component. This is what Esau says. This is what they teach. This is a component that is responsible for your personality development, right? So can anybody take a stab at the id? Take a stab at it. Or better yet, I could give it to you, because what you got? Oh, okay, read. What you got?
Personality development,
Right.
like how your mom treated you, like how the household was, and what kind of community you were raised in.
Okay, so what you're giving is the things that develop the id, or what the id can be based off of, right? The id. So
Like your environment.
your environment. But let's talk about what the id, what it is, right? Let me just let me figure this out real quick, real fast. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick definition, and you can always look this stuff up. Again, I ain't gonna lie, I took psychology in college. I also took psychology in high school. I liked psychology. But you know, the beautiful thing about the scriptures is that the scriptures make it easy. It makes it easy for these things to be understood. Where you already know Esau's gonna put his spin on things and overcomplicate to be able to justify certain things. So when dealing with the id is just your carnal desires. So what I would write down is ID, not ID like identification, but ID like id. It's id. It just deals with your carnal desires. So what's your carnal desires, or your most base desires? Eating, sleeping, reproducing.
Right.
Those are like the most base desires that we have, right? Those are our animalistic, beastie desires, right? But they also say that these are desires that are uncontrolled and you can't access these desires to change them. Now that right there should get the brain buzzing. Like, wait a minute, are these desires really unaccessible? Because they say that these are subconscious desires. Like, you subconsciously are hungry, and it's something you can't change. You subconsciously want to reproduce, and it's something that you can't change. You subconsciously want to sleep, and you can't fight it. Right? So we're going to get back to that part of it being uncontrolled. Right? Because that's very important, because now if I'm developing my psyche and I'm being told that my most basest desires are uncontrollable, well then really, what am I developing? I'm developing an out of control person. Right? So it says the E is akin to the heart's desire that reflect the youthful, impulsive nature, right? So let's go to Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 9 real quick, because we definitely gonna have some scriptures. Ecclesiastes 11 and 9 in the Bible.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 9.
Right? Read that.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth.
Right, so what we're doing, we're looking at, does the Bible line up with this concept of the Eid in a person's developmental personality, in a person's personality traits? Is the Eid something that we can identify biblically? Our basest desires, our carnal needs. Well, the scriptures say to do what?
Rejoice, O young man,
Right?
in thy youth.
Go ahead.
And let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth.
Right, so it seems here that the Bible is like, look, go ahead and do your thing, right? What does a youthful man or a youthful woman want to do? What are they into? Are they not into the desires of thine heart? Are they not into fulfilling those youthful lusts? Right? When you're young, you want to do the partying, you want to do the drinking, you want to do the extra sleeping. I'm taking a nap, right? You sleep until 3:30 in the evening. You staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning, right? You're giving yourself to those youthful desires, right? Go ahead.
And walk in the ways of thine heart.
And it says, and to walk in the ways of thine heart. Now, this is the thing. Doesn't it? We should look at this scripture and say, well, any man can walk in the way of his heart, but what if his heart is not aligned past his Eid, or past, what if his mind can't go past the base needs? Right? Then all he's going to be doing is what? Carnality. All he's going to be doing is living in the most basic mode of man. Right? Go ahead.
And in the sight of thine eyes.
Right?
But know thou.
Because isn't that a child thing? Like, ain't that what children do? They go after what they see. I always say, you can put 2 water bottles in front of 2 children. One here, right? And you let the child right here play for a little bit. You sit another child down 5 minutes later and you put the same water bottle in front of him. What's he gonna do? Knock his down and run to this one. But you got the same one. No, I want his. I want his. It looks better, but it's the same.
It's newer.
But that's what it is. It's newer, and children go off the side of the eyes. They don't use any type of extra thinking to rationalize that the 2 bottles are the same exact bottles. That it's the same amount of water. That they're both cold. That they're both cylinders. They don't rationalize. They're like, no, I just want it.
Right.
That's why when babies cry for food, how do they act? When babies cry, like little infants cry for food when they're hungry, are they nice and timid? How do they act?
They throw tantrums.
Yeah, they're like little damn monsters.
Yeah.
And you gotta do what? You gotta run and oh my God, and
This
pour
what
the
you want?
milk and no, not even this what you want. You know what they want. But you gotta run and rush. And you're like, hurry up and warm up. You try to make the stove get hotter than it can. You're trying to do everything you can to appease this baby.
Right.
because they're in straight animal beasts, no care. They'll cry at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 6 in the morning. They don't care about your sleep. They don't care about what you're doing when they're hungry or when they want to be changed or when they want to be held. Because why? It's all about them. So if we're dealing with this concept of the Eid and we're looking at this scripture, what does it tell you about this part of the personality that we all have? We all have the most basic desires. We all want to sleep, eat, reproduce. We all want to be catered to in the flesh, right? But if we can identify it with a child, what does it tell us about this trait or this part of development? What?
Because my mind is that it stays with you unless you like want to identify it and then like grow past it.
Right. So it's something that we can grow out of, right?
Right.
It's something that we should be able to grow out of. So by definition of what Esau tells you, they're wrong.
Yes.
Because they say, well, this is an untapped, this is a part of the psyche that you just can't change.
Right.
But and they're right to an extent. You'll never get rid of those desires. But when I'm hungry as a grown man, do I just start tearing things and beating the walls? Feed me, right? Who does that? Who does that? Right? When I want to have intercourse or whatever, do I just run up to the first chick I see, smack her over the head with a club, drag her into the cave, lay with her? No, right? When I want to sleep, man, F that. I'm out. Right behind the wheel. Just pass out. I'm tired, cuz. Right? No, you don't move like that, because as grown people, we were supposed to develop past our most basic developmental stages, which this is what the id, I keep saying id encompasses, right? So I'm gonna read another definition. Did you finish that?
No, there's more in it.
Finish it.
But know thou.
But what?
But know thou.
But do what?
But know thou.
Go ahead.
That for all these things,
Right?
the Most High will bring thee into judgment.
Right. So I'm gonna read this again. The id, akin to the heart's desire, reflects the youthful, impulsive nature. Let's see here. So the id represents infancy, right? It is present from birth and represents the primitive, instinctual aspects of the psyche. It operates on the pleasure principle, seeking immediate gratification of basic needs: food, sleep, reproduction. I want to be held. I want to be comforted. Basic needs and desires without concern for consequence or social norms. It's not a social norm to walk into a restaurant and punch the glass out and hit the person in the face because they didn't make your food fast enough. The social norm is to just wait and be patient, right? Characteristics of the id: impulsiveness, irrationality, and they say that it's entirely unconscious. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because if it was entirely unconscious, bro, there would be no gauge at all, right? So that's the id, right? Now let's go down to the next one. From the id, you have the superego, right? The superego, which you can categorize that as the moral guardian. And this is very important. The moral guardian. It says the superego is as the moral compass, right? And it should align with the Most High's. So I'm taking a biblical look at this, right? It should align with the Most High's expectations, right? living justly, showing mercy, walking humbly with a standard, right? So go to Micah 6:8. So we're dealing with the super ego. It's literally the guardian of morality. Micah 6:8, read.
Book of Micah, chapter 6, and verse 8.
Right?
He has shewed thee,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, what
Right.
is good.
You see, so the Most High shows us what's good. Go ahead.
And what doeth the Lord require of thee?
What does the Lord require of all men? Go ahead.
But to do justly,
Right?
and to love mercy,
Go ahead.
and to walk humbly with thy God.
See that? So this is where the super ego now, what does it sound like the super ego does in regards to the id? If the id is about beast mode, right? And the super ego is about morality, what do we got here? What are we seeing? What is this as it equates to man? These two components.
Balance.
A balance, right? What else? That's a balance. What else?
It's like your guidelines.
Your guidelines. Well, what would that be in man? What do we call that? So the id, think about it. You got the devil on one side and the angel on the other. The id is the devil. He's the brute beast niglet that wants to just eat everything, have sex with everything, sleep everywhere, drink everything, smoke everything, yell and scream and be angry at everything. Then the little angel on the other side is the super ego that's like, wait, hold up, no. What about morals? What about justice? What about the law? What about the Most High? You see that? That's the super ego, right? So check it out. I'll read it. It says the super ego, that comes later on in your childhood, right? Which is not that much later. This is more around, you got your id that goes from about birth to about 4 years old, maybe 3 years old. And then the super ego is supposed to start kicking in around 3 to what? Around 7, 8, or really for the rest of your life. Because isn't it about understanding and being conscious of right and wrong? When does a child understand right and wrong? When does a child understand right and wrong? I'll tell y'all when. A child understand right and wrong when they're doing something, and you tell them no, and they look you dead in your eyes. Don't touch the pen. And they look you dead in the eyes and reach for it to see what you're gonna do, and slowly pick it up like you ain't supposed to do nothing. And then, wah! Right? Or when they start to try to sneak things, don't touch the pen. You leave, you look around the corner, and they're like, they start doing that when they can walk, when they can talk. At the age of 1, 2, they start understanding the concept of yes and no. Don't do that, do that, right? And that will equate to right and wrong, because yes, I want you to do that. No, I don't want you to do that. Then you start giving them consequence and punishment. That's early in development, especially if you deal with your child the right way and don't wait till they're 5 to start correcting them.
Right.
Don't wait till they're 15 to start showing them the Bible. If you deal with their psyche, if you deal with their conscience early, right, and start imparting the different aspects of right and wrong and yes and no and what you want them to do, bro, at a year and a half, they'll know what they should and should not be doing. Then they're gonna have to sneak, right? So the super ego is later childhood. It says the super ego develops as a result of internalizing social and parental rules and expectations. So they start to take in what is socially acceptable, what rules the parents have, right? It represents the internalized moral standard of values. So how early do you start to impart values into your child, right? I mean, you could never do it early enough, right? But see, Esau will tell you, oh yeah, their moral compass doesn't develop until they're 12. You got the 7-year-old baking cake baking cats in the microwave and putting ants under the telescope, under the them little white boys. They putting ants under the magnifying glass and burning them, and they know it's wrong, and blowing up cats in the microwave and hunting down rats, and you're like, oh, it's just boys being boys. No, he's a damn psycho. He's a psychopath. He's developing his psyche into being Dexter. Yeah, he's Dexter 2.0, right? Y'all seen Dexter?
Yeah.
Right? It says the superego strives for perfection and enforces moral principles, influencing behavior through feelings of guilt and shame. This is important. Characteristics of the superego: strives for perfection, holding individuals to a high moral and ethical standard. So it operates on the morality principle, aiming to suppress the impulses of the id. So your superego aims to suppress your base impulses, not to eradicate them, but to not let them overtake. Everybody understand that? I'm gonna make it a lot more simple. I just want to give you the definition. And like I said, you can always look this up, these definitions. All I did was just get a bunch of definitions. Did you finish that scripture? Okay, you could drop that. Next thing, the ego. The ego. Right? So what is the ego? We always talk about it like, oh, you got such a big ego. You got such a big ego. This person is egotistical. Well, before a person can develop a big ego or become egotistical, the ego is just the ego. It's supposedly just another component of that psyche being developed. So the ego is the realistic mediator. It's the mediator between superego and id. It's like the referee, right? It's like this. I'm stuck in traffic and I gotta be somewhere on time, right? Id is like, okay, jump the curb, run all the red lights, go crazy, honk your horn at everybody, flip everybody off, play bumper cars. That's it, beast mode. Superego is like, hold up, wait a minute, let's think about this here. Be calm, right? We don't want to get into trouble. We can't run the red lights. We can't do this. We can't do that, which is true. But then here comes the ego. The ego is supposed to function in the way of, okay, you guys are both right. We got to get there, but we don't want to do anything rash to get there. So what would the ego do in a time of anxiety? Because in a time of anxiety, id, right? That little nigga id, he wants to be anxious, right? But superego, he's like, no, calm down. Let's do what we got to do, but let's do it calm. So how does ego play a role? Well, he takes both components and he meshes them in a balance and balances both psyches out. Where, okay, yeah, we do got to get there, but let's set up some prayers. Let's do this, let's do that, and boom, let's rely on the Most High. That's how the ego should work. Let's rely on the Most High, right? Let's not be anxious. Let's set up some prayers. Let's have some faith. Most High is going to part the waters. See, look, boom, and you get there. That's how the ego should work, right? If we're looking at it in this biblical concept. Even in the way Freud, even in the way he brings it out, the ego is the referee or the mediator between id and superego, right? So, Philippians 4:8. I'll read this. It says, the ego, grounded in reality. So, it's supposed to be a realistic mediator, meaning what? Well, yeah, we got to get to where we got to go, but we can't play bumper cars with all the cars in front of us. We still have to do what? Follow the stop signs, follow the red lights. But hey, move in haste, but don't be rash. Don't be neglectful. What's that?
Don't break societal norms.
Don't break the norms, but speed above the speed limit 5 miles.
Right.
But don't do 30.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's the ego. It gives a rationale for the things that our base instincts want to accomplish. Right? So, another good example is this. Your base instincts tell you to eat cake, but eat all the cake. All of it. Nigga, eat the whole pie. Right? That's it. Eat the whole pie. Nobody can tell you nothing. You the man. Super ego is like, hold up, wait. We can't eat no cake because it's bad for us. It's terrible. It's going to destroy our teeth. Right? It's like that. It's like that real calm grandma. Like, it's going to hurt your teeth. It's going to give you diabetes. It gives you all the reasons why you can't do something. Right? And then here comes the ego. Like, wait a minute, guys. No, we can eat cake. Just have one piece. Have moderation. Right? You don't have to eat the whole cake, but you don't have to eat none of the cake either. Have a piece, be satisfied, and move on. And then when you're done, go brush your teeth. Drink some water, eat healthy the next meal. That's how the ego is supposed to work. It's a mediator. It's about being moderate in your carnal desires, but not depriving yourself of those desires. Y'all see this? Y'all with me? Right. So, it says it's grounded in reality, or it should be. It says it encourages to mediate by focusing on virtues and positive aspects. By aligning thoughts with goodliness, individuals navigate life challenges in the way that honors the Most High, right? So go to Philippians 4:8.
Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brethren,
right?
Whatsoever things are true.
Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are honest.
Right.
Whatsoever things are just.
Right.
Whatsoever things are pure.
Right. So another one, go to Titus 1:11. Whatsoever things are pure. So the ego is supposed to focus on the purity in things, not letting one thing rule over another. You see that? Where your base instincts are not overruling your morality. But then you're not so moral that now you can't eat a slice of pizza. Or you can't have a woman, or you can't have children. You see this? Right. Go ahead.
Whatsoever things are lovely.
Right. Whatsoever things are pure. Read Titus 1:11.
Titus chapter 1 verse 11.
Right.
Whose mouth?
No. Titus to the pure, all things are pure.
15.
Titus 1:15.
Titus chapter 1 verse 15.
Right.
Unto the pure, all things are pure.
Go ahead.
But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving,
right,
is nothing pure.
And we're going to talk about that defilement. We're going to talk about the defilement, but it says to the pure, all things are pure. The ego is supposed to be the pureness of your outlook, the pureness of your thoughts. But there's something that the ego needs, right? So I'm going to read this. It says, I'm going to let you come back in, my gun. It says, the ego begins to develop. So the ego is early childhood. So, 7 years old and on up, right? You start to develop this ego. Once you develop that moral standard, which is supposed to be from like the age of 3 to about 7, that right and wrong, then the ego starts to take over and balance out and rationalize things and bases things in the reality of where you are, right? The ego begins to develop as a response to the demands of the external world. It emerges to mediate between the impulsive desires of the id and the moral constraints of the superego. The ego operates on the reality principle, seeking to satisfy the id's desires in a more realistic and socially acceptable way. So there is a way for id to accomplish his needs and for superego to be prominent and have a balance. This is where the ego comes in. You can drop where you're at, you read.
Whatsoever things are lovely.
Right?
Whatsoever things are of good report.
Go ahead.
If there be any virtue.
Right?
And if there be any praise.
Go ahead.
Think on these things.
Right, and this is what the ego is supposed to be embedded in. Virtue, purity, right? Pureness, balance, right? Y'all with me? Okay, let me pop this Molly, right? So just to go over the basic, I'm gonna give it to you real basic. I think I probably said this. So the basic understanding of the 3 parts of your development, right? The id, he equals the devil. He equals the lust, the selfishness, and supposedly it cannot be accessed or controlled. We're gonna talk about that. Super ego, he's the angel. He represents the morality, the standard, striving for judgment and justice. The ego is the balance of the two. He's the referee, right? He mediates and brings both the id and the super ego into a realistic state that can be applied. Y'all see that?
Come.
Okay, y'all with me?
Come.
Come. So now that we understand the 3 components, y'all understand the 3 components, right?
Come.
Yeah? Okay, so now that we understand what they are and where they start to develop in a person's even just age and what they're associated with, how does a person, or why would a person be stuck in, and I say a person, I'm talking about grown people, grown men, grown women that are not 3, 4 years old. Why are they stuck? Why would they be stuck in their infancy? In that infant stage? Why would they be stuck in their id? What do y'all think are some of the causes? Because there are causes. He was given some of them earlier. Corey.
I think they would be stuck because of.
Now remember, we're talking about a child. So now you got to think about a child and how they act. Yeah, it's real. Go ahead. Why would a person be stuck in a child's mode, in a child's mind? What do they lack?
Wisdom.
Well, in a totality, in total, yes. But I want like specific. Because there's specific things that lead to this. So wisdom, what else? I'm gonna let you come. What you think? What else? Other than wisdom.
I drew a blank just like that.
Sharad. Okay, lack of instruction. I'll take that. What you think?
Along the same lines, it's like they was never taught anything different. They was never corrected on their behavior. So
Okay, so y'all are going with lack of instruction, lack of teaching.
right, they grew up, and then how it's like the ego.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up rationalizing it and making it that where I don't need the super ego, I just have the id. I just grew up on my id, so that's my life.
Now, I'm gonna say this: you're right, but you're wrong.
Mm.
Everyone has a super ego.
Right.
Everyone has an id. I'm gonna show y'all through the scriptures. Everyone has these things. Right, but I don't want to jump. Oh, whoa. You gotta hear Beelzebub. I don't want to jump. But everybody has these things, right? So I'll give y'all, think about it. What you gonna say?
I was gonna say it worked for them. Like
What do
When
you
they
mean?
were younger.
What do you mean it worked for them?
like when they were younger and throwing up,
Right?
their parents didn't really know what to do except give it to them. So that's how they
operated, right?
Yeah, they just kept doing it because it worked.
Okay.
So as they get older, they just.
But then, okay, I'm gonna ride with what you're saying. He's saying that the way they acted, it worked for them. Now, the way they act, is it right or wrong? Like the temper tantrums and things like that, is that right or wrong?
Let me say it wrong.
It's wrong, right? Now think about it. Do they look at themselves as wrong? Like when a child, like if she start going crazy right now, a warrior, right? She's a child, right? Talking about you, girl. If she start losing her mind right now, is she gonna look at herself like I'm wrong?
No.
Like, man, I should stop doing this because everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy and I'm wrong for doing this? No. So what is that a lack of?
Awareness.
A lack of awareness, right? There's a lack of awareness where children are not aware of themselves, especially not no infants. People in infancy stage are not aware of themselves, right? What else? What do people? You got to think about a baby in their most basic need stage. Think about a newborn 2-week-old. I said a newborn 2-week-old. Is that a baby? You newborn, but you 2 weeks old. They're the most animalistic, right? Because they want 3 things. What's the 3 things? Food, sleep, and the diaper. Right? Now, think about it. When babies are like 2, 3 years old, they're riding around with that pile of crap in that diaper. They'll move around like it's nothing. Like, oh yeah, it's squishy, but and I smell like a garbage pail kid, but I ain't tripping. I'm gonna keep playing. I'm gonna sit on it, get up, sit on it, squish it, make it get smeared to my butt. They don't care. They just move around and then like 3 hours later, Dad, I pooped. Dang, that's what that smell was? Okay, cool. But think about a baby that's just born. When that diaper gets soiled, they are insane, right? They can't stand the poop on the butt, the wet diaper, everything agitates them, right? Everything is if they're sleeping and you move them the wrong way, they wake up, it's like, damn, it's like they can't be pleased for so long. Because every 2 hours they gotta wake up, they gotta eat, change. You rock them, and then you put them down, they sleep for 2 hours, you wake them up, they eat, they change. It's this cycle to keep them what? You're trying to keep that baby appeased, right? Right. So what do babies want? What do babies want? When they're hungry, do they want, hey babe, I'm hungry. What you about to make? Oh, I could, what do you want? We can make pot roast. I can cook chicken. And then what do I gotta do? We gotta sit there 10 minutes, figure out what I want. Then take another hour to cook it. Does a baby want to wait an hour for anything? Does an infant mind want to wait for anything? So they want immediate gratification. They want immediate reward. Right? They can't wait for, like, think about when a baby got to wait for his bottle as opposed to a woman giving the baby the breast. What takes longer? The bottle, right? That baby's going crazy. You put the breast in his mouth, he shut up. Eat, burp, drool, vomit, back to sleep. But if he's sitting there waiting for that bottle, he's losing his damn mind because he's like, I should not have to wait. What am I waiting for? Right? And he's like, really, when you look at him, he's like a little monster. She's like a little monster pounding. And the devil is like, right? And you're just pounding, and you're like, damn, let me hurry up. And you're trying to do everything to get this bottle made or get this pamper changed or try to soothe them to sleep. Everybody shut up. The devil is crying, right? We don't say that, but think about it. They act like little devils. But now let's translate that to grown people. Because you have grown-ups that are still stuck in this phase in their mind where I need immediate gratification. I lack self-awareness. So these traits are there, and this is what it presents as, this base, low-level thinking individual that does not show any sense of moral. Y'all see this? So we got, I'll give y'all a few, right? So lack of self-awareness. Some individuals may not be fully aware of their own desires, impulses, and consequences of their actions. It says without self-awareness, it's challenging to regulate behavior based on a balanced perspective, because it is. It's hard. If you don't know what you're doing, it's hard to balance out what you're doing if you're not aware of yourself. Right. What do we always tell brothers and sisters? You got to be aware of yourself, or else what? You'll offend. You won't be blameless, right? But if you're moving this way, it's showing that you haven't developed past this base person. Immediate gratification, it operates on a pleasure principle. So what does this person lack? Immediate gratification is lacking what? What?
Discipline.
discipline. What else?
Patience.
Patience, long suffering, right? What else?
He doesn't want to abstain.
No abstinence.
Mhm.
Because how can I if I'm not disciplined? If I don't have the discipline to abstain, I'm not gonna abstain, nigga. What's that? I want it now. Well, bro, you gotta wait for that. Now I ain't waiting on that. Hell no, I'm about to go create that. I'm about to go make that happen. I'm gonna take it in my own hands. The Most High who? Oh, okay. Right? Unmet needs and desires. Right? Lack of coping mechanisms. You got environmental influences. What's that?
This is how you saying like that. They're also never satisfied. They'll
Never
be
satisfied.
enough.
Never could be enough. Right. In the individual stuck in an id mindset, may be attempting to fulfill unmet needs or desires. If basic needs are not satisfied in healthier ways, impulsive behaviors may arise. So that goes back into discipline, right? That goes back into what? Moderation. So what are we doing right now? Well, we're breaking down how a person is stuck. How can you recognize a person that's stuck in little baby buffalo mode? You're like a little baby gorilla, right? Where you can't be told nothing. You just moving like a beast. You ever see like a little baby wild animal?
Yeah.
Right? They're fun, cute, and cuddly, but bro, they're just basic. They basic as hell. What they want. They're not aware of any dangers. They just go at what they want. They go and they just walk to whatever they feel is necessary and not calculate the consequences of their actions. What's that?
This kind of reminds me of how they portrayed Caesars of Rome. Like,
Okay.
Like children, like anything that they wanted.
I just that's wild. Anything they wanted, I need it now.
I need it now.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted her. I'll kill the husband and take her.
Right.
I have all the power. I have everybody looking at me. Like
We see that this complex, this id complex, was prevalent amongst a lot of the kings of Israel. You see righteous men that fell into some of these impulses. You seen David do what? Uriah the Hittite's wife? That's somebody's wife. I don't care. Bring her here now.
Yeah.
Right? We seen men fall into their most basic of basic needs and desires and not move past it. Some did, some didn't. Right? So unmet needs and desires. You got environmental influences. You got developmental factors. Check this out. During certain stages of development, such as adolescence, the id tends to be more dominant as individuals explore their identities and desires. Some may struggle to transition to a more balanced mindset as they mature. And that's the problem that we're talking about. That what we're understanding is that there's supposed to be a transition from basic carnality into now a moral sense of how to balance out those carnal things, right? Because again, is there something wrong with eating? Eating is wrong when now it's immoderate and you're a glutton. Anything wrong with sleeping? But there's something wrong with sleeping 20 out of 24 hours out of the day. You become slothful, right? Anything wrong with reproduction? Be fruitful and multiply? No. But when you want to do that with everyone and have no regard, right, then there's a problem. That's where it can become sin, adultery, right? Whoremongering. You see that? Then you got psychological disorders, different personality disorders that people develop, which I believe personality disorders those are different spirits that people take on to mask traumas and things that they've been through. That's what my belief is, right? That's them demons that's on people. What is it? Multiple personality disorder and schizophrenia, and those are mental issues. But I believe that those are spirits, man, that's really heavy on people when they're trying to cover up a trauma or something that they don't want to deal with, and they tap into another personality and they let those demons take over, right? And that can keep you in basic mode, right? So let's deal with, again, the id being these unconscious desires that can't be controlled or accessed. Is this true? Can we control our eating? Can we control our sleep? Can we control our sexual impulses?
Yes.
And I'm only dealing with those base things because that's what our base psyche is built on until we start to develop out of that. Right? But what's the first thing a person is lusting for as a baby is food. You come out, you want to sleep and you want to eat. That's the first two lusts. And then after that, you want to be held all the damn time. Hold me, mama. I want the warmth. Right? And then the other lusts, that can plague a person's mind come in. We know, person gets older, drugs, right? TV, video games, all these other lusts start to accumulate. I'm just dealing with the baser instincts of man. Right? So we know that it's not true. Biblically, it's not true. The white man's going to tell you it's true. Why?
Because he doesn't want to feel bad when he does it.
The white man needs company. Esau's like, nah, you can't tap into your lusts and your desires as far as controlling them, because since I can't, no one can. Right? He wants company. He's the beast and the vilest man of the earth. So he wants everybody else to be vile. Right? Well, let's go to 1 Peter 2:11.
First Peter chapter 2, verse 11.
Right? Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims,
Go ahead.
abstain from fleshly lusts.
Yeah, now, if this wasn't a thing that we could access, why the hell would he say abstain? Why would the Bible promote this idea of abstinence? Well, it's because Esau doesn't want to be abstinent. He doesn't believe in the idea of the wicked. Don't believe in the idea of abstinence, right? When you go into Wisdom of Solomon, this has hit my brain. Man, when you go into Wisdom of Solomon 2, and it says, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and verse 6.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 6.
Read verse 1.
Verse 1.
Right?
For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright.
So we know that this chapter is talking about the ungodly. Right? Read verse 6.
Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things
Right?
that are present.
Right?
And let us
Speedily.
use the creatures like as in youth.
Yeah, let's just use the creatures as in youth. Now, what type of youth are you in? Because if you're in beast mode youth, then guess what? You're going to deal with everything like a beast. Right? Go ahead.
Let us fill ourselves with costly wine
Right?
and ointment.
Go ahead.
And let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Go ahead.
Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds
Go ahead.
before they be withered.
Read verse 9.
Let none of us go without his part
Right?
of our voluptuousness.
Yeah, see that? This is what the wicked is on. They're like, no, we don't want to control our desires because we want to not go without our part of voluptuousness. We need to live voluptuously up in here. We need all the ointments, all the wines, right? We need to be able to put the rosebuds, right? Go ahead, read on.
Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness.
And then let us leave evidence of how fun of a time we had. Right? Now you got love trophies everywhere. And all types of just filth in the earth, right? Because we know the wicked, they're not leaving behind any, these are not good tokens. These are those bad reminders that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right? But the earth is given into the hands of, remember, he said that the Most High said he was going to give us into the hands of base men. People that were not a people. Why? Because they were going to operate in this id mind state and tell you, oh, no, there's no way to combat it. Right? Because the ungodly said what? There is no God. Right? The ungodly reasoning with himself said there is no God. I'm merging two scriptures. I know. I'm paraphrasing and merging Proverbs with Wisdom of Solomon. Right? But, I mean, ain't what the Bible said? Hey, that's what it says, so that's what I'm going to call it. Right? Right? So he said they don't want to go without their voluptuous, man. Their voluptuousness. They want to get their fill.
Right.
That's what Esau's about. Everyone eat their fill. Right? No one get up until they've been filled all the way. Right? So they tell us and they promote this idea, this Freudian, that's why I call him fraud and not Freud, because it's this Freudian idea, this fraud mentality that, look, we can just be beasts and nobody can say nothing about it. But look at the world. The world is in beast mode. Right? So go from there. Go to Ecclesiasticus 18 and 30. Damn, an hour already went by. What is happening right now? What is happening? What is happening, 5? Time is. Whew. You know, I guess time flies when you're having fun. Right?
Popping Molly.
Popping these mollies, bro. Man, if you ever need some good cough drops, the Ricola. These are good ones. They're not working though. They taste good, but they ain't working. I keep coughing. Right? Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 13 to verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
Go not after thy lust.
Wait, the Bible tells us what?
Go not after thy lust.
So that means that there's something working here. Huh?
I thought you said Ecclesiastes 18.
Yeah, Ecclesiasticus 18 and 30. Where you at?
You said 18.
Oh, my bad.
Oh.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18 verse 30.
You said what?
It's the same scripture, but it's
He made
the
a.
wrong
Oh,
one.
right. He did the thing I did.
I did 13:30.
He did the quad design. He confused y'all.
Oh.
So the Bible is imparting something here. What is the Bible supposed to represent? What?
The superego.
Yeah. The Bible represents the superego in man. And we're going to get there. But the eat is like, nah, nigga, just be animal, be a beast mode, demon time,
Demon time, yeah.
right? I'm on demon time, right?
Yeah.
Just do whatever you want. I'm knocking them all down. I'm spending all the money. I'm killing everybody. I'm eating all the food. I'm drinking. I'm popping all the bottles.
Right.
That's how niggas be talking.
Yes.
Like, how you pop every bottle? How you caught everybody? You got all the bodies. You got all. I got all the guns. I got all of them. I got all the girls.
Right.
Every last one. Like that's what's promoted to us, right?
God.
But then the scriptures come back and say, whoa. Because a super ego, super above.
Right.
It's above something. This is supposed to be above the base level thinking, which the Bible is showing us how to think above the base, which is what? What does it warn us or what does it impart us to do? Go ahead.
Go not after thy lust,
Come on.
but refrain thyself from thine appetite.
Come on.
If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her,
Right?
she will make thee a laughing stock.
She will do what?
Make thee a laughing
So
stock.
not only does the Bible give you the warning, it gives you the reason why. Right? Go to Ecclesiasticus 23 and 4 in the Red Book. Sirach. I'm going to start saying Sirach.
Sorry, right?
Sirach 23 and 4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
O Lord,
Right?
Father and God of my life,
Come on.
give me not a proud look.
See, because the id, at the end of the day, is embedded in pride. Proud looks. Go ahead.
But turn away from thy servant, always a haughty mind.
Yeah, but see, this mind, it's supposedly haughty, but it ain't that high. This mind is so base and low level, it thinks it's haughty. Like, I'm haughty, I'm up there. I'm smart. You ain't smart. You know, go ahead, read on. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 5.
I was about to say it. Go ahead.
Turn away from me, vain hopes,
What hopes?
vain hopes,
Go ahead.
and concupiscence.
And what?
Concupiscence.
Somebody look up concupiscence. And I'm pretty sure the definition is some level of curiosity. If I remember correctly, it has to do with curiosity. Right? What did he say? You can see the what? You can see the charging cord. I don't know. Oh, right. Read. Let me handle that. It does look weird. What you got for concupiscence?
Strong sexual desire.
Oh wow.
Lust.
See that? So my bad. I thought it had something to do with curiosity, but it's a strong lust, strong sexual desires, or strong lust, right? So you can have an evil concupiscence where it's not just a sexual thing. It could be you have a food lust. You got people that got eating disorders. They got concupiscence. You got people that got, my strange addiction. They eating toilet paper and they eating mothballs and starch.
Couch stuffing.
Yeah, they eating couch stuffing and Barbie hair. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's an evil damn concupiscence, man. Where you eating starch, cornstarch. It's just in your gut, just not going nowhere.
I used to do that.
Oh my God, bro. Why?
Because my mom did it.
Oh, snap. So did she do it when she was pregnant with you?
No, she did it, like, that's what she.
That was her soothing.
She would have like a box of cornstarch and she would eat it like a spoonful. And I would see her do it and want to see what it tastes like.
What did it taste like?
Tastes like nothing.
That's wild.
It's just like,
But that's my point. It tastes like nothing when people do it. You see that?
it's like empty calories.
Yeah, bro.
Nah.
Empty calories is the least of the problems. That stuff start merging in your stomach. You see what cornstarch does when you get water on it? It don't break down. It turns into like putty.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they x-rayed the one chick's stomach on the show and she had pounds of it in her gut. I mean, toilet paper, mothballs. Bro, huh? Yeah, you got the hoarding, you got these lusts that are evil, right? So it's not just a sexual desire, but it is a lust of any kind. Right? So the Bible is telling us, don't give me over to this.
Right.
So there is a way to combat the the base level of man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt hold him up that is desirous always to serve thee.
Go ahead.
Let not the greediness of the belly.
Let not the what?
Greediness of the belly.
Let not the what?
Greediness of the belly.
Go ahead.
Nor lust of the flesh take hold of me.
Come on.
And give not over me thy servant into an imputed mind.
See that? But see, we know who are the ones that love to fall into these lusts and into this impudent mind. Go to Philippians 3:18. Go to Philippians 3 verse 18.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 18. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies.
They are the what?
Enemies.
So who is stuck in id?
The enemies.
Who is stuck in beast?
The enemies.
Who caters to their flesh?
The enemies.
Go ahead.
Of the cross of
See
Christ.
that? They're the enemies of the cross. Go ahead.
Whose end is destruction.
Go ahead.
Whose God is their belly.
Because it goes back to me. It goes back to me wanting to be appeased. It goes back to, it's all about my wants and desires. Doesn't that sound like a baby? A baby is only about their own wants and desires. An infant is only about their wants and desires. We got to grow out of infancy in our psyche. We gotta let that infancy grow up and let the super ego of morality of the scriptures develop in us. Go ahead.
And whose glory is in their shame.
Right, the same things they glory in, they're going to be ashamed of. Yeah, I was in the club, man. I knocked down like 4 chicks. 6 months later, man, I got AIDS. Got that package. The same thing you gloried in is what you're going to be ashamed of. Yeah, I was over there popping it for everybody and blah, 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 blah. And the next thing you know, twins. I mean, I don't want no kids right now, but you was out in them streets, making it shake, making it twerk for a little bird, right? Doing something strange for a little piece of change, right? What's up?
Now, those are dudes.
Making them holler for $1.
Those was a dude I used to work with, man, and he always come in like, yeah, I mess with this chick, da.
Yep.
And I'll tell him like, all right, bro, chill out.
Yeah.
Like, chill, bro. Like, you're moving fast.
Yeah.
And he hit me like 2 months after that. He was like, man, I'm burning, son.
Oh.
I'm burning, man. And I'm like,
Ooh.
he's like, I should have listened to you.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
like,
bro,
yo.
you better go over there to Memorial Herman or wherever you go. Benton.
You gotta go
Where
figure
they
it out.
go? Yeah, you better,
Wow.
bruh. Come on, you better get some amoxicillin for that. 'Cause ain't nothing I can do. I told you.
I told you.
But they glory in the negative, and then when they're shameful when that punishment comes,
Con.
when that check comes. But ain't that a child?
Con.
Ain't that a child? They'll glory in writing on your walls and eating up all the candy until the butt whooping comes. Until they gotta clean them walls. Then they, you ain't even beat them. Go clean the wall. Losing it. She got a wall cleaning coming. Yeah, she got a wall cleaning coming. She did some artwork on the bedroom wall the other day in brown marker. Look at her. Yeah, a warrior. I'm talking to you. You gonna clean that. Look. How quiet she got. Yeah, she gonna be in that room crying. Cause they know I don't play with writing on the walls. Manashah, he had to learn that lesson quickly. Right? When he got it, I remember one day I made him sit there for like 3 hours. Maybe like 2. And he had to wipe them walls, man. That boy was scrubbing them walls with the rag and I'm like, nah, bro, you gonna clean these walls. You want to write on them, you gonna wipe these walls down. Right? So she gonna be next. But they glory, their shame is their glory is their shame. Right. Go ahead.
Who mind earthly things.
And that's what it's about for a person that's stuck in this psyche. It's all about the earthly things. It's never about spiritual. It's never about let me develop into the super ego. Let me move from the next stage of my development. You see that? Right. So, right? Next point, if I'm stuck in beast mode or id, if I'm stuck in id, we know id represents carnal, beast. That means that we know that the super ego has not developed yet, right? But that also means that, because truthfully, you need one with the other. You can't have one without the other. So remember, super ego is always there. Now, what is my super ego based on? Right? What is my morality rooted in? Remember, or let me ask y'all. Are there different levels of morality? Meaning, do people have different moral codes?
Yes.
Yeah, right? So now we got to examine, wait a minute, what is this person's moral code been based on, right? Where is their morality comes from? Where does their morality come from? What is it based on, right? So go to Psalms 19 and 7. Psalms 19 and 7. My gun walked away, somebody else get it. Because we know that there has to be a moral code in all of us. But everyone's morals ain't the same. But let's deal with the morality of the scriptures and the moral code of the Bible. What does the morality of the Bible do for a person that's going from beast mode and trying to transition and develop a correct super ego or a correct moral code? Psalms 19 and 7.
Look at Psalms chapter 19 and verse 7.
Go ahead.
The law of the Lord is perfect,
Right.
converting the soul.
Doing what?
Converting the soul.
Right. So if I'm dealing with the correct morality, it's converting my soul from the soul of an animal to the soul of a human. And you know what I mean by that? I'm going from this carnal soul to now this spiritual man. It says it converts the soul. Go ahead.
The testimony of the Lord is sure.
Go ahead.
Making wise the simple.
Doing what?
Making wise the simple.
Right. It's giving wisdom to the simple. So I'm no longer embedded in beast mode, carnal mode, the flesh, and the appeasing of it. Now I'm able to look beyond my own needs and wants. Now I'm able to have discipline enough to abstain. Now I'm able to apply the Peters, the Ecclesiasticus. Now I'm able to apply discipline, abstinence, fasting, awareness. I'm able to apply these things, right? Once I'm letting myself be converted. Go ahead.
The statutes of the Lord are right.
Go ahead.
Rejoicing the heart.
See, that's what I'm going to rejoice in now. Remember, he said, rejoice, O young man, in thy youth. But what am I rejoicing in now? Well, I'm rejoicing in the fact that I don't have to cater to the flesh. I'm rejoicing in the wisdom of the Most High. Go ahead.
The commandment of the Lord is pure.
Go ahead.
Enlightening the eye.
Doing what?
Enlightening the eye.
So now I'm able to get clear vision. Wisdom of Solomon 9:14. Wisdom of Solomon 9:14.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 verse 14.
Go ahead.
For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
Right, because the mortal man is embedded in the id. He's still in id mind. He's still in base mode. Go ahead.
And our devices are but uncertain.
And his devices are to just do what he feels. Right. I'm tired, go to bed. It doesn't matter what I got going on, just go to sleep. Right? I like her, I want to have her. Okay, well, what you gonna do? Well, she don't want to be with you. Well, I'm gonna just rape her. That's where you get like this base mind. Right? This is where you get rapists. This is where rapists come from. They haven't developed a moral code that, wait a minute, you ain't got to rape no woman and you shouldn't want to rape no woman. Right. You see that? Go ahead. Thieves, murderers. They haven't developed out of base mode. Read on.
For the corruptible body,
right,
presseth down the soul.
Go ahead.
And the earthly tabernacle,
uh-huh,
weigheth down the mind,
right,
that museth upon many things.
Right. So what is it showing us? That if our minds are carnal, and you couple that with a corruptible body, ooh, it's good night. You got to have a strong mind to keep this weak ass flesh going, is what this is saying in a roundabout way. And you do. You do. You can continuously be sick, or you can push through sickness and push through pain to strengthen your body. But your mind got to be engaged. Your mind got to be in it. Right? But the corruptible body is going to weigh down the soul and vice versa. Go ahead.
And hardly do we guess aright.
And the point that I want to get to is in verse 18. But go ahead.
And things that are upon earth.
Go ahead.
And with labor do we find these things that are before us.
Come on.
But the things that are in heaven, who have searched out?
Well, we know that the base man is not searching out the things of heaven, because those things of heaven would translate now into a morality that the base man doesn't want to deal with. Right. It deals with a moral code that he's not ready to accept. Neither does he want to accept it. He don't want to see it. Go ahead.
And thy counsel,
right,
who have known,
uh-huh,
except thou give wisdom and send thy Holy Spirit from above.
Go ahead.
For so the ways of them which live on the earth, right, were reformed.
You see that? So how are the ways of them that were on the earth reformed? Well, through wisdom, through the knowledge of the Most High, through the scriptures, right? Where we at? We'll close this real quick. Go from there. Well, the second Ezra is 14.
God.
Y'all with me, right? Mm-hmm. Or am I with myself? Which one? Is me against the world? Against the world. Right? How are you, brother? Ego and superego. We learn about psychology. Right. Right. She said a 2-week-old baby don't know. That's the point. A 2-week-old baby they're not accountable. Right? But some of us move like 2-week-old babies. That's the point. Right? I'm just trying to see the comments real quick. Go read that scripture.
Which one? Therefore?
Second Ezra.
Second Ezra 14 and...
Second Ezra, chapter 14 and 28.
Second Ezra chapter 14, verse 28.
Right?
Hear these words. O Israel,
Right?
our fathers at the beginning were strangers in Egypt,
Go ahead.
from whence they were delivered.
Right, so the subject that we're dealing with here is Israel. Right? Go ahead.
And received the law of life,
Come on.
which they kept not.
So they received the law of life, which they kept not. Go ahead. I'm getting to a point. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Which ye also have transgressed after them.
Right? So what is Ezra reminding the people that just like the forefathers, they're transgressing? Go ahead.
Then was the land, even the land of Zion,
Right?
parted among you by lot.
See, and then before we transgress, in the time of the forefathers, we got the land. It was parted. Go ahead.
But your fathers and ye yourselves have done unrighteousness,
Come on.
and have not kept the ways which the highest commanded you.
Read.
And for as much as he is a righteous judge,
Come on.
he took from you in time the thing that he had given you.
Right. So he's just saying, look, you sinned. You went against the commandment. The Most High gave you the land. After a time, he took away the land from us. Go ahead.
And now are ye here,
And now are you here? Go ahead.
and your brethren also among you.
Go ahead.
Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own
So
understanding.
let's just think about it. If the morality of the scriptures is wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the law that converts the soul, he's letting us know that what? If we went against the law, we were like base children. We were stuck in a mentality that got us to a certain place. So he comes back and says, if you will subdue your own what?
Understanding.
Because that's the problem with the psyche. We tend to go off of what we feel is right.
Right.
Right? What our moral code should look like. Like, think about it. Esau's understanding of morality is do what you want.
Yeah.
Right? Love is love. That's their understanding of a moral code when it comes to intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Love is love. Rainbow sprinkles for all. Right? Gender fluidity bathrooms, and it's okay if this grown man dresses like a woman and goes into the women's bathrooms with the little girls, right? Like, that's their moral code.
Yep.
Their moral code is, it's fine if you lay with dolphins and marry them, and it's okay if you want to rock the zoophilia, you want to, what I'm saying, the mini horse. You know what I'm saying? That it's okay if Fido, rubs up on you, and all of a sudden, you laying with the dog. It's okay, right? It's fine. Anything that you can appease yourself with, it's good. Remember, he said it. The wicked said what? Let us not go without our voluptuousness. So whatever you feel is good to you, whatever is within your moral compass, that's fine. Right? Even if it goes against the morality of the scriptures. So Ezra is reminding the people, y'all went the way of the wicked and didn't allow the morality of the Bible to resonate in your mental. So you're still stuck as a child. What were you going to say?
And they'll say, it's your God-given right to do it.
You say it one more time?
They'll say, it's your God-given right to do it.
It's your right. See, it's my God-given right to lay with another man, for a man to lay with a man.
Yep.
It's my God-given right to commit adultery.
Yep.
It's my God-given right to smoke weed. It's my God-given right to subdue the land, and it's my God-given right to bear arms. Like, they'll blame everything on the Most High. Like, the Most High ain't got no morality.
Right.
But that's the problem.
Yep.
We can't be in the mind state of id. I keep saying id. We can't be in beast mode.
Right.
We got to get out the child mind. That's what got us enslaved. That's what keeps us enslaved. Right? And really, you ain't no different than what we read about the Canaanites, Amalek, Esau, you ain't no different than those people because they were beasts, right? So we know what the scriptures say about morality. Did you finish that?
No, sir.
Go ahead. So therefore, if you will subdue your own understanding, go ahead.
And reform your hearts.
And do what?
Reform your hearts.
See, the only thing that was going to reform us is the scriptures. It said converting, right? Converting us. Go ahead.
Ye shall be kept alive.
You shall be what?
Kept alive.
Yeah, you're going to move past beast mode. You ain't going to die like a dog, right? Go ahead.
And after death, ye shall obtain mercy.
Right. So what if your morality was developed from what the world says morality is? Well, let's look at that. Let's look at what the world says morality is. Go to Deuteronomy. So we're going to do some jumping. I want you to go to Deuteronomy 32 and 5. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 5. So this is what the world says morality should look like. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 5.
Or the super ego. This is how we're supposed to develop our super egos. Go ahead.
They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children.
Go ahead.
They are a perverse,
right?
and crooked generation.
Right. So the world's morality or the world's conscience is perverse. It's perverted. The whole world is on perversion mode. Everything. Listen, I don't care what you watch. There's some insinuation of homosexuality, right? There's bro, go watch Family Guy. Go watch The Simpsons. Even in cartoons, go watch there's a couple of shows on Adult Swim, right? You ever watch Archer?
Oh, wow.
It's Arthur. Archer, it is Archer. You watch shows like that, and it's like these sexual innuendos in cartoons. You're like, what the hell is going on here? This is like an animated adult movie, right? Any TV show you watch, there's some insinuation of lesbianism and homosexuality and over-sexualization. There's this insinuation of perverseness, right? And there's always some shot at the Bible. Right? There's always a shot at true morality and how we should really develop ourselves. They always take shots, but then they'll inject two dudes kissing real quick. And you're like, yo, that's how I'm supposed to be living? Go ahead.
Do ye thus requite the Lord?
Wait, go from there. Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17.
Right?
They sacrifice unto devils.
Wait, they did what?
Sacrifice unto devils.
So the world's moral code is about sacrificing to devils, man. This is what they base their morality on. How many devils can I appease? How many devils can I sacrifice? Myself, my children, my mind to. Go ahead.
Not to God.
Go ahead.
To gods whom they knew not.
Come on.
To new gods that came newly up.
Right.
Whom your fathers fear not.
Come on.
Of the rock that begot thee, thou art unmindful.
Right. So what is it about? Well, our morality is built in being unmindful towards the Most High who saves us. Right? Traitor, truce breaker, not fulfilling commitment. That's what their morality is. What the world is built on. This is their moral fabric. And that's why it's easy to pull that thread and you'll see that whole sheet just disappear. The moral thread, the moral fabric is disintegrating. Right? What's that?
I appreciate it.
Well, let me finish real quick. Go ahead.
And hast forgotten God that formed thee.
See, and it's about forgetting your maker. Forgetting the true God. Go ahead. Jump down to verse 28.
Verse 28.
Right?
For they are a nation void of counsel.
Right. So it's not about doing things with counsel. Right? Hey, do me a favor. Somebody put the address to the school in for Emory in the chat. Go ahead.
Neither is there any understanding in them.
Right. It's not about getting understanding. It's about creating our own understanding. Creating our own way. It's not about the understanding of the Most High. It's not about subduing the way I view and understand things to let true wisdom come forth. It's about me pushing the narrative. Go ahead.
Oh, that they were wise.
Jump down to verse 32.
Verse 32.
Right?
For their vine is of the vine of Sodom,
Go ahead.
out of the fields of Gomorrah.
You see that? Their vine is the vine of Sodom. And their fields are as the field of Gomorrah. So what's that telling you? It ain't homosexual drinking, right? But it's a metaphor, right? What comes from that? That grape, the thing that you want to drink from that vine and from that field. So it's showing you, think about it, what you reap, what you sow. The way they sow is what they're reaping. And he says Sodom and Gomorrah, we know they're known for homosexuality and immoral sexual acts, right? Immorality, they're immoral. Think about it. He said your vine and field is of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's immoral. At the end of the day, in total, it's immoral. Go ahead.
Their grapes are grapes of gall.
Go ahead.
Their clusters are bitter.
Right, read verse 33.
Verse 33. Their wine is the poison of dragons.
See that? It's poison, man. It's poison of dragons. It's deceitful. Right? Go ahead. Go ahead.
And their cruel venom
Right?
of asps.
Asps. Go to 2 Peter 2 and 10. And then from 10, jump to 12.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10.
So this is the moral code of the world outside of the Bible. This is what they want us to develop our egos into. Go ahead.
But chiefly them that walk after the flesh.
So the world, remember, all that is in the world is the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, right? Proud to be an American. Taste it, touch it, lick it, smoke it, drink it, snort it. It's all about what you can put in you. Eat. I mean, ain't it?
That's what they own.
Ain't it? Think about it. It's all about what you can put in you. But guess what? It's never about putting the wisdom in you.
Right.
It's all about what you can put in and feel right away. Think about when people, you watch TV, they snort coke. And they're just like, anybody ever seen Snowfall? Remember when old girl, she had first little chick that was next door. Remember when she first hit the crack pipe and she hit it and the camera the camera was like her and she, right? She just landed on the bed like all soft and pillowy, like heroin was that dope like that, like crack was the thing to do. Like nigga, you do that and you start bouncing off the wall. But the point is, all these things that we give ourselves in our lust is about an immediate effect. Right? When you eat all that sugar, immediately. You like the crackhead from Dave Chappelle. Shazam! You start lifting buses, you start getting superpowers, you hit the Starbucks, you like, oh, and then all of a sudden you just alive. Right? You get that liquid spirit in you. You eat the food, you're like, ready, set, go, and then all of a sudden you crash. Right? You get with the woman, it's the same thing. You do the drugs, it's the same thing. You get this immediate effect where the scriptures work the same way too. Wisdom works the same way too. But the world wants you to be about the flesh. They want your moral code to be built around what you can feel in the flesh. Right. Not in your mind, not in your spirit. Go ahead.
But chiefly them that walk after the flesh.
Right.
In the lust of uncleanness.
See, they want it to be unclean. It's never clean. It's never something good. It's always bad and filthy and dirty, and it's always so naughty. Right? It's always lustful and lusty. It's always, I can't get enough of this, man. I gotta go kill for it. Right. I gotta rob, cheat, and steal. How come nobody ain't rob, cheating, and stealing for the Bible? Right? How come nobody's not robbing and cheating and stealing? Right. Going crazy for the wisdom of the Most High? Because it's not promoted as anything. There's no instant gratification in the wisdom of the Most High. You gotta work for wisdom. You gotta put yourself in the damn grave for wisdom. You gotta kill that old man to get wisdom. Don't nobody want that. Well, not nobody that has a real moral compass. People that have a real moral compass is like, you know what? I'll put myself in those fetters. I'll put myself in that discipline, right? But the world is like, discipline, please. Only thing I want to be disciplined in is rolling this blunt and smoking this weed.
Right.
I got Henny discipline, Remy discipline, Steel Reserve discipline. I got the Reggie, I got the swag, I got the shake. I know about those disciplines. It's like, damn, that's it?
Yeah.
I can cut the crack with discipline.
I can make
I know my different Pyrexes, right? They know those disciplines. But when it comes to disciplining and being able to sift through the word of the Most High, it's like, no, we ain't doing that because it don't bring nothing.
Right.
So the world promotes lust, unclean desires. Go ahead.
And despise government.
Right? No type of, you can't tell me nothing. Government don't just represent Democrats and Republicans. Government is anybody that's above you that's supposed to tell you something. Go ahead.
Presumptuous are they.
What are they?
Presumptuous.
And what else?
Self-will.
See, it's about I dug it out the mud on my own. I did it all by myself. Right? I got me right. I put me on. If you really put me on, then put yourself on then. Right? That's what the world pushes. Yeah. It's like everybody came up on their own. Nigga, stop.
Everybody.
That's insane. Like you had no help. Nobody motivated you. Nobody put the battery. Nobody gave you a nudge. Right. I mean, nobody give me $1, a dime, son. I got it out the mud. I mean, somebody had to make the dirt wet to make it mud, right? Something, I don't know. But the world is about not giving anyone else credit for your come up or anything that you do. It's all about you. But then guess what? When you got to get that check, I hope it's the same, keep that same energy. When you got to get your ass whooped for what you're doing, make sure that you make it all about you, right? Because then it's going, but he made me do it.
It's us now.
Yeah, we. It's we and them. Yeah. My pronouns is I, right? It ain't we and us and them. Nah, we didn't do this. But that's how the world is. When it's trouble, it's us. When it's about gratification and presumptuousness, it's I. Go ahead.
They are not afraid to speak evil of dignity.
Yeah, the things that are dignified in the eyes of the Most High, they'll speak evil, right? They'll talk evil of the good things that the Most High has set up. They'll speak evil of the Bible. They'll speak evil of the prophets. They'll speak evil of the angels, their butt naked babies that float around with bows and arrows. They'll speak evil of the prophets. Oh, they're all white. They'll speak evil of dignities, man, to degrade and to bring that morality down. Go ahead.
Whereas angels.
No, jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. But these, as natural brute beasts.
See how it is? The moral code of the world is still brutish. The moral code of the world is not really a super ego. It's still the id. The id. It hasn't developed. They make it seem like it's developed into something. Oh, because you can go be a beast in Vegas and you can go be a beast over here. You can move on demon time over here. So you've developed. They gas it up on what? Well, I'm a grown-ass man, but you a baby boy.
Right.
You a grown-ass man, but you still baby boy. Right? You still living up under your mama's skirt. You still, everything is about, I got to go ask my woman. I got to borrow her car. Right? And then we go ask my mama. But you a grown-ass man, dog. You a grown man when it's time to kill and when it's time to eat. Right. But you a baby when it's time to think. And responsibilities and any type of accountability. And that's the trick of the world, where they're telling you that you're developing because of age, but your psychosis, your psychology is still a child. That's why the world is crumbling. Think about it. That's why they can't keep marriages. That's why, it's so much death and destruction, because look at how people are moving. It says natural brute beast. Read.
Made to be taken and destroyed.
Go ahead.
Speak evil of the things that they understand not.
See, and that's what the world is about. Let me just talk about it before I get the facts. Let me just speak on my, I don't know. I don't know everything about this, but I'm gonna speak on it. Because when Eve was in the garden and she ate that apple, huh? Okay, well, where does it say that at? Well, it says that, but where? Show me. Nah, I don't feel like showing you, but it says that. It's like it's like the one brother that we seen eat the pork on Christmas.
Oh, wow.
his breakdown of why you can eat the pork on Christmas or at any time is because in Acts, part of his breakdown is that in Acts 10, that was about food. And then when you say, well, prove it, he's like, well, nah, I don't need to prove it. It's about food. That's it. Next. That's it. So you're just going to speak on something that you don't know now. You're not going to give the edification. You're not going to give the true, you're not going to give even an understanding of how you're thinking. Nah, it's because I said so, nigga. And I'm going to slice the ham off, eat it, and talk about Barakatah Yahweh and mock the Most High. But this is what we deal with. These natural brute beasts that haven't graduated. Go ahead.
And shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
What's going to happen?
They shall utterly perish in their own corruption.
Yeah, it says they're going to perish in their shame. Go ahead.
And shall receive the reward of unrighteousness.
What is the reward of unrighteousness? Death. At the end of the day, it's death and destruction. Go ahead.
As they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime.
Because that's part of the moral compass of this world. Let's go riot. Let's go fill ourselves with the costly goods. Let's go anoint ourselves. Let's go get the voluptuousness. Go ahead.
Spots they are and blemishes.
Wait, huh? They're what?
Spots and blemishes.
Yeah, but see, there's a spot, there's a blemish. They stand out. This morality, this moral code is it's irregular. It don't fit the rest of the garment. You're like, wait a minute. Because truthfully, you don't have to do too much to know and understand right from wrong. It stands out. Right? We're predisposed to do good. We just are, but then we fight against good to promote evil. And how do we know? Because when you do evil, what does it mess with? Don't it hit your conscience? Yeah. Right? It hits your conscience before you read thou shalt and thou shalt not. Before you read the law, before you knew the law, before you knew the Most High and you was doing things, you were like, man, this don't feel right. Shouldn't do this. But you fought it and did it anyway. Go ahead.
Sporting themselves with their own deceiving.
See that? It's about deceitfulness. Read on.
While they feast with you.
Read on.
Having eyes full of adultery.
Oh, because adultery, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. There used to be a time when if a person committed adultery in America, they could divorce and that person didn't get nothing and they went their way. Now a woman could commit adultery, file divorce, and get all your stuff. Yep. It's like, you mean to tell me infidelity is not frowned upon? No, it's not. Infidelity is not frowned upon in this country. It's really not frowned upon in the world. They make songs about it. They do TV shows about it. Every TV show. Infidelity of some sort. No faithfulness. No, let me stick by her. Let me stick by him. It's all about infidelity and adultery. Right. Go ahead.
And that cannot cease from sin.
Go ahead.
Beguiling unstable souls.
Go ahead.
And heart they have exercised with covetous practices.
Yeah, your practices or your manners are your morals. The things you practice become your morality. It said covetous practices. Because the world is about, if I don't got it and you do, I got it. God will just take it from you. I like it, I see it, I want it, I'm going to have it. And either we're going to get it by force or you're going to go with it. Right? The booty warrior. That's what, what's his name? Fleece Johnson. Everybody's a Fleece Johnson. Right? I like you, I want you, and I'm going to have you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Go ahead.
Cursed children.
Go ahead.
Which have forsaken the right way.
See that? It's about forsaking the right way of morality, which is the wisdom of the Lord converting you from these ways. But the world tells you, no, this is the right way. Do it the way we said. Do it the way we said. Raise your children in our wisdom. Raise your children under our moral compass. You won't have no morality. Go ahead.
and are gone astray,
right?
following the way of Balaam,
Because it was about money with Balaam. It was about riches with Balaam. Go ahead.
the son of Bozor,
Go ahead.
who loved the wages of unrighteousness.
Right. So, we almost done. Damn. I actually got to do this. Wow. Interesting. So, we know that id, superego, and then ego, right? And they kind of go in this succession and they all kind of feed off each other. So now what happens if you have an ego? What is an ego that is developed off of a corrupt moral standard? What do you have?
Ego.
You have a corrupt ego, but what do you call that? What do you call a person that's all about their ego? What? Oh, that's part of it. There's a word though. A person that's about themselves. That's a part of it. What? So that's part of it. It's egotistical. This person's the egotistical individual. They're
It's egotistical.
egotistical. Oh, right. Kind. Corey got it. Yeah, right. Egotistical. Right? They're egotistical. And then there's components to being egotistic. There's components where it's self-centered, it's arrogance, pride. We know all of it amounts to pride. Right? So we're seeing, so what are we understanding as a quick recap before I go to these scriptures? That what? We're all born with these three components. But there's a stage of development and growth psychologically from one stage to the next. They all feed off of each other, but the ego is supposed to balance out the beast mode and the devil and the angel. You can't be too angelic, right? You can't be too over righteous, right? But you can't be too wicked. You can't be wicked either, right? It's nothing wrong with eating cake, but you don't want to eat all the cake. So, but we're not going to eat none of the cake. Ego comes in and says, no, hold up, eat a piece of cake, and then back that up with some water, right? That's ego. But if the ego is corrupt by the thing that's supposed to make the ego pure, which is your morals, then what? You're gonna have a corrupt ego. You're gonna have an egotistical person. You're gonna have that pride. You're gonna have an imbalance anyway. Right. You see that? This person is gonna be imbalanced in their outlook of themselves. Y'all with me? Come. So, and then also, egotism or being egotistical, that also equals no fear of the Most High. Because there's no consequence. There's consequence, but I don't fear the consequence. It's not even that I'm moving in beast mode. It's that I'm not affected, right? The Most High can check me. He can take my kids. He can kill my kids. He can he can kill my wife. He can kill my husband, right? He can kill the dog. And guess what? I'm chilling, son. Because it's not about the dog. It's not about my wife. It ain't about my kids. It's about me. I'm good. I'm getting the things I want. I'm doing me, son. Right? So let's go. Ecclesiastes 32 and verse 14 in the Sirach 32 and verse 14.
Sirach, chapter 32, verse 14.
Right?
Whoso feareth the Lord
Come on.
will receive his discipline.
Yeah, but if I'm egotistical, if there's a high level of egotism, I'm not going to receive discipline. Because part of being egotistic is that the morality to receive discipline and correction was never there. I was never trained up as a child to receive discipline. I didn't have to, because it was always about me anyway. Go ahead.
And they that seek him early
Go ahead.
shall find favor.
Come on.
He that seeketh the law.
Right. He that does what?
Seeketh the law.
See, he that seek the law, go ahead,
Shall be filled therewith.
shall be filled therewith. Go ahead.
But the hypocrite will be offended thereat.
You see that? But a hypocrite is going to be offended at the law. He's going to be offended at the correction. Go ahead.
They that fear the Lord
Right.
shall find judgment,
Come on.
and shall kindle justice as a light.
Go ahead.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
See that? A sinful man, an egotistical man is a sinful man. A person that's about themselves is sinful. Why? Because that arrogance is so high in them, there's no need for you to correct me, yo. I'm always right. I'm like, what? What you telling me something for? Right? That arrogant mind state, that high-minded mind, that lofty thinking. Ooh. Go ahead.
But findeth an excuse.
But see, now it's about me finding an excuse. Because I don't want you to tell me nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. That's where pride starts to kick up. Go ahead.
According to his will.
Come on.
A man of counsel.
A man of what?
Counsel.
Right. Now, a man of counsel, there's levels to counsel. Right? You might counsel with a man, a brother. You might counsel in the scriptures. You might go to the scriptures and say, oh, you know what? Boom. Okay, I understand that. I see how I can apply that, but still let me go now and get another perspective. Boom, 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 boom. Damn, okay, I was on point. A man of counsel, go ahead.
But a strange and proud man.
Wait, what happens when you're egotistical?
A strange and proud man.
What happens when your moral compass is broken?
A strange and proud man.
What happens when you go off the morals of the society around you?
Is not daunted with fear.
You become strange to the Most High. See that? You become a stranger. Right? Not the stranger that he says, oh yeah, make sure that you take care of them. No, you become a stranger like, who the hell is this nigga?
Right.
Who the hell is she? Right? Remember, he said he give grace to the humble, but he reject the proud. So that stranger becomes rejected, dejected. It says they're not daunted with fear. Why should I fear? Why should I be afraid? Like, nobody can do nothing to me anyway. It's about me anyway. I'm good over here. Look, I'm eating all the food. I'm drinking all the drink. I got all the money. Got all the women. As long as my flesh is feeling something good, what's there? What else is there? Right? Everyone around me could be affected because of my lack. Right? And this is how you know the ones that are stuck in damn baby mode, because you got people around you dying straight up. Most High is wiping people out around you, and you like, you know what I mean? It ain't me. Too bad for them. Wonder what they did. But they're around you. Most High is trying to show you something. He ain't trying to show me nothing because ain't nothing to see. Yeah, it's a cold reality for some though. That's how some people really think, because as long as I'm appeasing, right? As long as I can smoke my little weed, you know what I'm saying, drink my little drink. What's Avishai call it? Avishai call it a 1-and-1. As long as I get my little 1-and-1, right? My little beer with my cognac, or my beer with my scotch, right? Or my you know what I'm saying? My beer with my E&J, right? And I can get the blunt hanging off the side of my lip, or the cigarette, or the black of my breath. As long as I can do those things, right? Nothing else matters to me, right? As long as I can pull up to the club, get me a little baddie, right? She can ride passenger, she can ride shotgun, I can look good sliding through the city. As long as the rims are shiny, right? As long as the candy paint is candy enough, I'm good. Go ahead.
Even when of himself,
right?
He have done without counsel.
Right, go to Proverbs 16:5. Proverbs 16 and verse 5.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 5.
Right, we're going to get through this on time. Go ahead.
Everyone that is proud.
Everyone that is proud, come on.
In heart.
Right?
Is an abomination.
Wait, they are loved.
Is an abomination.
The Most High is esteeming you high.
Is an abomination.
Most High said everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination. Why? Because your moral code, your super ego, is an abomination. It's developed from abominable things. He said that you are the vine of Sodom and the fields of Gomorrah. You are immoral, my friend. Go ahead.
Is an abomination to the Lord.
Come on.
Though hand join in hand.
Right.
He should not be unpunished.
Read verse 6.
By mercy and truth.
Right.
Iniquity is purged.
See that? By mercy and truth.
Man.
iniquity is purged. By mercy and truth, the super ego is cleansed. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By giving heed to thine word. How do I get my super ego back in line with the Most High? That way my ego is lined and and my personality is not perverse and prideful. I gotta purge with truth. I gotta purge with wisdom. Go ahead.
And by fear.
And by what?
By the fear.
By what?
By the fear.
And then I'm gonna develop a fear that's gonna do what?
By the fear of the Lord.
Right?
Man, depart from evil.
But if there's no fear, I don't see the problem with running to evil. I don't see the problem with running at the same course of riot as the world. I don't see the problem with letting the world control who I am and letting the world be my God. I don't see no problem with that. What's so bad about that? I don't see nothing wrong with homosexuality, right? What's wrong with them? They ain't bothering me now. Like you don't like you ever deal with those people? Like I don't see the problem with that. Just let them be. Wait, but are you homo? No, I don't subscribe to that lifestyle, but you know, I don't see the issue with it. Right. That's a wild mind. Yes. That you don't subscribe to it, but you don't see the issue with it. You know, I don't smoke weed, but they're not hurting anybody. Let them just smoke all the ganja and do all the nonsense they want. Right? It's self. What do they call it? Huh?
Self-righteousness?
No, the victimless crimes.
Oh, victimless crimes.
It's a victim until you become the victim, and then what? You see, it's all wrong. It's bad. We only want to challenge when it affects us, but that's not how the Most High operates. He wants things to affect us before it affects us, because He wants us to be affected by the Word, and what the Word says is it's wrong, or what the Word says is right. If I develop my morality off of what somebody's doing to me and not what the Word says, I'll fall for anything. I'll be down for a lot of things unwittingly, unknowingly. You'll promote and cater to things and not know. Just you standing back and saying, you know what? Let them be. I'm not going to rebuke that. I'm going to let that ride. You consent.
You do.
You consent to that.
Yeah.
Finish that real quick. Did you finish it?
Verse 7? Do you want me to go to verse 7?
No, don't go to verse 7. Let's go to Proverbs 8. What were you going to say?
So I met the sister today. She was going to get married. The marriage was
Canceled because she went to the bachelor party and
it
started
was
running.
canceled because her husband, her man of 6 years committed adultery. He was a whoremonger and everything like that.
At the bachelor party.
Wherever he was, right? He slipped and fell in social media and stuff.
Nice.
Right? But anyways, just on the point of what you're saying, right? Like, who's gonna stand up? Like, it should affect you before it affects you.
Yeah.
Right? One thing I told her, I was like, look, from a man, on behalf of this other man, what he did was not okay.
Right.
It's normalized in our communities, this continuous thing of whoremongering and not, you know what I'm saying, not maintaining your integrity as a husband to wife and wife to husband.
Right.
It's not okay. And she just looked at me like glitched in the eyes. I was like, I just want you to know so it doesn't affect you as you move forward in life. That you heard it from a man.
Yeah, it's not
a God-fearing man.
Yeah, morally, it's not the standard that the Most High promotes for us.
Yeah.
The world, again, you know, you about to get, you know, what does the world tell a man that's about to get married? Man, you know, you got to have one last hurrah. Yeah. We're going to invite all the strippers and you're going to lick whipped cream off her booty. And you're going to go in the back room and do all these weird things and nobody going to know. And it's okay. It's okay to do it. Why? Because you're about to get married. You got to have one last go around. You got to sow your oats. Yeah. They tell that to women too. That's why they have bachelorette parties. I mean, what y'all think bachelorette parties are? If the dudes are licking whipped cream off the chicks' butts, what are the women licking whipped cream off of? At a bachelorette party. Right, I'll let you think about that. Go to Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 13.
Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 13.
Oh, go ahead.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
See, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. But if I don't fear the Most High, guess what I'm gonna love? I'm gonna love evil. I'm gonna run to evil. If I haven't developed in my morality, if I haven't developed that little angel on my side that says, hey, this is evil, don't do it, then guess what? I'm gonna have two devils. And then the third thing is gonna be the devil. My personality is gonna be devilish. I think I said this in class the other day. You know how you have certain people that are just, you're like, man, that's just like a good person. Right? That's a good, like I look at Bryce, I'm like, man, Bryce is a good person. He seems like a real good kid, right? Like he don't have like an ill will towards him, right? But then you have people, I mean, I'm not gonna, nobody in here, but you know how you have people that are just like, you're like, damn, this nigga is just evil. You know how you watch that TV show and you're like, damn, this nigga, we're just walking around just killing everybody for no reason. He walk in the room and stab somebody. You're like, what the hell you do that for? Right? And you just shooting people and you're like, what the, like, this nigga's character is just evil. Well, it's because there's no conscience. The little white angel, that's a devil. The devil is already there. So he's just devil all the way around. He's just beast mode, basic all the way around. And that's how some of our people have developed their psyche. And develop that. Remember, we talking about the personality now, where some people just got evil ass nature. Right. You're evil nurtured, so you're evil natured, and that's your personality. Like y'all know people like that, right? You're like, damn, this nigga is just evil, right? Even when they smile, it's like that evil Cruella de Vil smile. It's just like, God dang, even the smile looks sinister. You know, sinister characters. You're just like, dang, why is this dude like that? Everything is just turned to negative and wicked. Well, that's what happens, right? That's what happens. Read that again.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
That's what happens if there's no fear of the Most High. Right. The fear of the Most High should be developed in us from an early age. Again, from you can understand right from wrong. That's when you got to be showing your children. When your children can understand yes and no and right from wrong, and know that they're being sneaky, that's when you got to tell them, look, the Most High don't like that. Right? It's like when my kids do something, like Mama Shah, he'll do something, and then something will happen. I'll be like, I'll be like, bro, that was the Most High. Because I won't hit him, I won't beat him, I won't even yell. And then something will happen. He's like, God. I say, yeah, because the Most High don't like what you did earlier. Noah, same thing. He'll wild out, he'll do some crazy stuff, and he'll be like, damn, my phone broke. And I'm like, yeah, because the Most High don't like ugly. The Most High is checking you, not me. I had to take your phone. I didn't have to break it. I didn't have to do anything. It broke it. Like how your phone break in your pocket? No. In the house. Because the Most High didn't want you on it, bruh. That's how. Right? So I constantly try to show my kids early that your psyche, your super ego, your morality needs to be founded and rooted in what the scriptures say morality is, not what the world tells you morality is. Because then, as they develop into an adult, they'll either be a grown old person in a child mind, or they'll be a grown evil ass nigga. They'll be grown and evil as hell, and you'll be like, yo, this is what I raised. This is what they developed into. This is what we're trying to avoid. Right. Read it again.
The fear of the Lord is to hate evil.
Go ahead.
Pride and arrogance.
See that? And what happens is they become arrogant. Mosai said that if you have the fear, you'll hate being arrogant, self-centered. Go ahead.
And the evil way.
And the evil way. Where you at?
Last precept.
Go ahead.
And the forward mouth do I hate.
Right. Go to Go to Sirach. Chapter 10.
God.
And verse 7.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 7.
Right.
Pride is hateful before God and man.
Yeah, you know why pride is hateful? Because when pride comes out and the way it looks, like pride got a smell to it. Like you smell prideful. Like, God damn, you stink. You look ugly as hell when you're prideful. It's you look like, you just look whack. Like that pride. You come through with that haughty ass spirit thinking that you on, and people are looking at you like, yo, you a clown. You look like the kid that took the lipstick and just wrote all over it. And you like, ta-da, I look great, don't I? And like, you like the damn Joker. You You like the Joker from Birds of Prey. Joker from Suicide Squad. Right? You look like the damn Joker. You like a clown. But you look evil. You look sinister. Right? You got that evil disposition. It's hateful before the Most High, but it's hateful before men, because even though you think you can hide that pride, if you're raised in that, you ain't hiding that, man. No. And then some people don't even want to hide their pride. They want to live in it. They want to live in that prideful mind, and that prideful mind and that prideful disposition affects everyone around them, because now, again, what is pride about? Self-centered, egotistical, right? All about me and my needs, my desire. It don't matter how you feel. It don't matter what you think. It don't matter what you say. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. And nigga, I'm right. I'm right. It don't matter. You can tell me the sky is blue. If I think it's pink, la-ah. You can tell me this podium is brown. But if I want to say that it's pink, bro, you can't tell me nothing, because my pride is going to make sure that I see what I want to see. Right? And men despise that. Read on.
And by both doth one commit iniquity.
See, here it goes again. What is that iniquity? The morality in you is skewed. So now you start to do evil. Go ahead.
Because of unrighteous dealings.
Jump down to verse 17.
17.
Yep. 12.
12.
Right?
The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High.
Right, and we know that's where it starts. When you have the audacity to say, you know what, I don't need God. I can do it with some other way. I can do it with a different God. I got a different Most High now. Right? Like, damn, there's more than one Most High. When you make something else your Most High, then the Most High is no longer the Most High. Right? When you only getting Most High, the weed is going to get me there. When you're the Most High, ooh. So you departed. I don't need you, God.
Your Most High becomes something that you can control.
Right, you can't even control your Most High.
Yeah.
It starts to, but that's the thing. It says that the things that they relish in becomes their shame. Mm-hmm. You see that their glory becomes their shame. Read on.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High.
Right.
And his heart is turned away from his Maker.
Right, your mind is turned away from your Maker. Go ahead.
For pride is the beginning of sin.
See that? So it all goes back to a prideful mind. When you don't move out of a certain mind state, you remain in pride. So you can develop pride at an early age and never ever grow from your pride. Never grow out of that prideful mind. Because what's the opposite of pride? Humility. That's what we're trying to attain, right? He said he give grace to the humble, but he resisteth the proud. So, I mean, let's just look at it. Why is he resisting you? Well, because the natural man can't receive the things of the Most High. He's a brute beast. Right. Neither does he even acknowledge the things of the Most High. Read on.
And he that hath it shall pour out abomination.
Well, he shall do what?
Pour out abomination.
Remember, he said a prideful man, pride is abominable to the Most High. Go ahead.
And therefore.
So not only are you abominable, but then your works and the things that pour out of you are abominable also. You make little abominable minions of yourself through your works, through your deeds. Nothing you do is good. Go ahead.
And therefore, the Lord brought upon them strange calamities.
This is why strange calamities hit. Right? Go ahead.
And overthrew them utterly.
Right, because there's no humility. Let's go to two more scriptures. Daniel 4:28. Let's deal with these strange calamities. Go to Daniel 4:28, because at the end of the day, the lack of humility is what kills you. Right? Because you can come back from a bad moral sense. Think about it. We all had terrible morals up in here. Every one of us had bad morals. But what are we doing? Are we not being reformed? Are we not being repentive? Subduing our own understanding and letting the wisdom of the Lord control? Right? And take the reins? We're all doing it. So you can come back from it, but a lack of humility is going to prevent it, and you'll be destroyed in that lack. Read this real quick. Daniel 4:28.
The book of Daniel, chapter 4, verse 28.
And then somebody else get me Acts 12 and 21.
All this came upon the king, Nebuchadnezzar, At the end of 12 months.
Wait, hold on. Emery said, what is beast mode? Beast mode is when you're acting like a damn beast. You're acting like an animal. That's beast mode. Yeah, obviously you tuned in late. You got to go back and watch the beginning of the class. Go ahead.
Verse 29.
Right.
At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon.
Go ahead. So this is Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians. He walked in his palace. Read.
The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon
Right.
that I have built?
Wait, what? Go ahead.
That I have built
Come on, read.
for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power.
Yeah, see, Nebuchadnezzar got so haughty, he forgot that the Most High said that he was his anointed. Most High said, I anointed Nebuchadnezzar and built him up. I chose, he was like a Pokemon. I choose you to destroy Egypt, to destroy and subdue Israel. Most High chose Nebuchadnezzar. Like, nigga, I chose you. You didn't choose me. Go ahead.
And for the honor of my majesty.
But see, he's building himself up that he did these things for himself. Go ahead.
While the word was in the king's mouth,
Right.
there fell a voice from heaven saying,
Oh, he didn't even get done speaking yet. Go ahead.
O King Nebuchadnezzar,
Right.
to thee it is spoken,
Right.
the kingdom is departed from thee.
And from right there, Babylon was going to be destroyed. From that moment on, as soon as Nebuchadnezzar let himself get so prideful and lack humility that he was the reason for the season, Most High said, your kingdom's done. Go to Acts. Go to Acts 12 and verse 21. And we're going to be done.
Acts chapter 12, verse 21.
Right?
And upon that day, Herod, arrayed in royal apparel.
So here goes another one. Herod, who the Most High put up and set him up, right? As a tetrarch in Israel. We know he's an Edomite, but he was a ruler in Israel, right? Go ahead.
That upon his throne.
And he was sitting in his apparel. He was sitting on his throne doing his thing, looking good in his garment. Go ahead.
And made an oration.
Go ahead.
Unto them. And the people gave a shout, saying, it is the voice of God, of a God.
That must have been a crazy speech. That somebody had to say, like, dude, that was God talking to us. Like, nigga, it was that good? Nah. It wasn't better than Obama's speech. Obama used to give some good speeches. Right? It wasn't better than Obama. Ain't no way. And he ain't God. Right? Come on. It was better than Martin Luther the King. What was that? I'm playing.
Hilarious.
They're reacting like how we react to like a lyric we like.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, that was God sent. Like, what? That was a godly bar. Like, nah, bro. That was no godly bars. Right? But the point is, that's God and not a man. Go ahead.
And not of a man.
Right?
And immediately the angel of the Lord mocked him.
Smoke him.
Because he gave not God the glory.
You see that?
Dang.
This was Herod. This is how he died. Nigga died in his glorious garment because he didn't shut that man down and say, hold up. Nah, it ain't about me. It's about the Most High. He took the credit. And he was immediately smoked down. Go ahead.
And he was eaten of worms.
Go ahead.
And gave up the ghost.
And gave up the ghost. And, you know, the moral of the story is what? We're all trying to develop our personalities, right? We're all trying to develop this sense of self. But if you allow the wisdom of the Bible to develop in you and to grow in you, you ain't got to worry about pride, arrogancy. You don't got to worry about your moral code being skewed or being broken. Because the moral code of the Bible is perfect. It says the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the souls. So that's all I got. That's all I got. I know we went over a little bit. Let's real quick. Let's just see what they say online real fast. Oh my God, y'all preach. Crash thought. When you do enough wrong, it starts to become normal to you. It's almost second nature, right? That's what I believe. No, it becomes first nature. When you do enough evil and wickedness, it becomes you. That's the point. That's what we want to prevent. We don't want to be evil. We don't want to be to the point where evil is just your calling card, right? Our first nature is to do good. We're predisposed to do good. That's why we have a conscience. The world destroys the conscience and then reverses the predisposal to evil. You see that? So you're kind of on point with that. But men believe that because you study the scriptures, you will gain wealth. I mean, if you study, if you attain wisdom, you'll gain wealth, right? Because wisdom is great gain, right? And we know that Solomon, he got wisdom and he got wealth. And he got all the other carnal things. So we know that there's a starting point and there's things that are attached to wisdom. There are things that are, I mean, you can gain wealth in reading the scriptures. You can learn how to save money in reading the scriptures. You can learn how to start a business and run a business through the scriptures. I mean, we do, right? We're not rich and wealthy, but we're maintaining. Let's see. I mean, that looks like it's really it. Everything else was just, I mean, hopefully y'all enjoyed the class. It was kind of like the spur of the moment. Lakarab and Shathak was supposed to do class, but that flu bug is going around. So I have to kind of whip this one together for y'all. So yeah. Anything else? Any announcements? Any questions? Remember, Passover's coming up. We got a couple of months. Sister's about to get busy on these garments full time. Yeah, but I can tell you how time is floating. Remember, I know it's about to be tax season. Cats is thirsty. The taxes. Don't forget about the school. Right? Don't forget about the buildings. Right? I'm serious. Like, we gotta remind Cass because Cass will get 20K and then get a bunch of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? And baby clothes and jewelry. And forget about where you getting wisdom from. You gotta take care of the building, man. It's about remember, the white man don't give us nothing. Right? He don't give us tax breaks. He don't drop off bread to the doorstep or milk. He don't do any of that. We gotta fend for ourselves. So we gotta do it for each other. Yeah, I mean with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.